You are listening to another Third Coast Nerds podcast. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony.
I gotta find
again?
some quotes.
One more again. Like,
That's part of the quote series.
I didn't catch all that.
It was speaking slowly and everything.
I was logging into something.
See, you're not paying attention.
But still, the robot.
Cardboard cutout.
Yeah, but still, at the pace that the robot voice does that, it's really hard. Like,
Yeah,
those syllables were way too long.
that's what makes it entertaining. Is like
Farcical.
I was wanting the ice cream man after that one.
It's kind of halfway to Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
Farcical.
God, Polly Short.
Jeez.
I need to watch Biodome now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Encino Man.
Yeah.
Encino Man, I think, is probably one of my favorites of his.
In the Army Now was interesting.
Yeah.
In the Army Now is great.
And what was the other one?
Jury Duty, son-in-law.
Son-in-law was all right.
Son-in-law's great. Son-in-law's a good time.
Encino Man. They should make a sequel. Just
I
saying.
don't think you can.
They left it open.
Well, I don't think Pauly Shore has changed. So the question with doing a sequel to that is, can Brendan Fraser play dumb anymore?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's,
saw-
you use that. You use that. Like, it's 20 years later, right? And one of them got smarter, and one of them is Pauly Shore.
One of them should run for president.
Yeah, Pauly Shore is kind of like he's running the Comedy Store right now.
I'd hire him to run my game shop if I had one.
Well, it's family. Like, his mom owned it. So
No, I'm just saying that
Oh.
I think he could manage a game / like comic book store maybe.
all of you guys sound like really low volume. I don't know why.
Maybe try turning us up.
Should we sit up straighter?
I think so. I don't know.
How's this?
That's better.
You may talk louder.
Yes, you. And,
Kyle always needs to talk louder.
yeah, and also not aim the microphone at your chin.
It's actually in my mouth.
In your mouth.
My mouth.
Got a mouthful of it. But
Blah.
I saw an article not that long ago explaining why like Brendan Fraser's now unemployable in Hollywood.
I saw clickbait on Facebook about that, but I didn't clickbait it.
So
I
what was
clickbaited
behind
it.
What was behind it?
Like a lot of failures in a row.
I think the last good thing he did was Mummy.
Well, they did like the sequel to Mummy, and that
Mummy Returns wasn't
failed.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. The last good thing he did was Mummy.
What else was he in?
Because it was like
look it up.
Journey to the Center of the Earth,
That actually wasn't bad. I like that.
Adventure at the Center, or that was the video game. G.I. Joe, he was a bit role in that. Extraordinary Measures, Furry Vengeance.
Furry Vengeance?
Furry Vengeance.
Oh, I want to see that one.
Standoff, A Case of You, Hairbrained, Pawn Shop Chronicles, Breakout, Gimme Shelter, The Nut Job. Like a lot of movies in a row that you never heard of. So he's not doing all that great.
That's unfortunate for Hollywood.
I mean, if they would just stick with like the comedic roles and really kind of bank to his strengths.
Yeah, when they try to go serious, it doesn't work out too well for them in most cases.
Yeah, or put him in like big action roles, like The Mummy. Like the first one hit like at the right time, but they didn't time the second one correctly.
And you said big action, and I draw a line in things like National Treasure and Mummy, where you do have some action, but when you add that little bit of like supernatural / archaeological dig, like Indiana Jones style thing, it doesn't make it like a complete action, like a serious action film. It knocks it down to a level they can actually be on.
Unless there's a giant boulder they have to run from.
Yeah.
You know,
And then you want to watch
action.
them run like a girl away from it and scream.
Or Robot Spider.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could be. But yeah, it'd be cool if they could come back with like. I could see maybe an Encino Man sequel at this point, but like the California, like the whole California dude thing that it was sort of based around doesn't really exist anymore.
This is true.
It would have to be like Encino Man, but now Encino Man is like 50, and he invades colleges, and then everyone's all scared and goes to their safe place.
I think it would have to be shot like in Denver instead. To
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
They, like it's moved to kind of that instead of
They find
the
another one in
surfer
a cave.
beach thing. Although they just remade Keanu Reeves' surfer movie, so
I actually watched it the other day.
I'm sorry.
Was it worth it?
I mean, I really didn't know what to watch, and I'd watched the original. Actually, I think we talked about it last week.
We may have, but that was like 7 days
I talked
ago.
to it. Wow, lost my brain.
You talked to it?
I talked to it.
Did you whisper sweet nothings in its ear?
No, I watched the week before. I watched the original, and was like, oh wow. And yeah, it wasn't a good wow. It's just like, all right. And then I watched the new one. I like some of the changes they made. They made it like where it was different, right? They had a okay storyline behind it.
Well, we know the storyline behind it.
No, it's a little bit different.
We've seen it.
They changed it just enough where it's
That's the
it's
thing
kind
I
of its
hate.
own thing.
Like movies that could be their own thing, but they slap this title and these character names on it
Yeah.
to try to bank off the popularity of that old thing because they're too pissed scared to like, oh, it may lose. Just don't make a good movie.
It's way too close not to use the same.
It'd be
name.
like someone casting Bruce Campbell in a movie and naming him Ash,
yeah.
just because he's known as Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's like it's kind of
It's a different movie. It's
it's
dead or
different.
eviler.
So yeah, I agree with you on that. Like just change it up enough to be something completely different.
Like
Make a name for
Ghostbusters.
yourself.
Ghostbusters is now, per the rankings and the thumbs down, it's now the most hated movie trailer that's ever existed.
I read something about the funny one that everyone kind of likes right now. Was like, yeah, that was the most confusing trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy.
And she's like, I'm
Yeah.
in the movie. Like, I know what's gonna happen.
And she was like, yeah, it's not, when the trailer says like 30 years later, she's like, the movie has nothing to do with what came before.
Yeah.
It's a whole new thing.
So
But still, like, Hollywood's a bunch of pussies. That's what you're going to get.
this is very true.
Yeah, that's one I don't think I'm going to do. But I think I had a friend that went and saw Civil War last night.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
I think I'm going to go. What's tomorrow's Friday? Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to go Saturday. So, because I'm pretty psyched. They were very upset that I didn't go see it, and I was like, well, I got this thing called work.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping that it's a concise story in the context of what should happen in this kind of a story. You have like really good opportunities to delve into like political overtones and like the registration superhero thing. Like there's a lot of different things you can do with it that are relevant to now that would make it compelling.
what did you think about Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier, it was in my top 5, I believe. I mean, it's a solid movie. It's good. It's a good standalone. It's a good.
From his review that I got today, if you liked Winter Soldier, you're gonna love this one
Yeah.
because he rates them up there like right next to each other. He's like this. It did not.
I'm
disappoint.
expecting more out of this one than Winter Soldier.
That's what I said, but he looks at things differently than the way we do. So,
But there's kind of like this weird parallel, like all except for the first one, like the Captain America movies so far have sort of been like it feels like this is what the Avengers movie should have been, and then like the Avengers sequels are just commercials, for whatever comes next, and like don't pay attention, fast hands, big explosions.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're done with Avengers movies, aren't we?
No, another one in 18 or 17.
Okay. Because I know they renamed the Infinity Wars or whatever.
Well, I thought that was Inhumans, wasn't it? They dropped Inhumans completely.
So the next one is the Avengers Infinity Wars because the second one of that. So
Because they've got Infinity Wars Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
No, they've actually that's what they've renamed. They're re-specifying those two.
Because the second one's supposed to have Star-Lord in it.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find the article while we're talking, but
Yeah.
I think they basically said those are working titles and they're not going to have that title when they come out now. So
Let me pull up
Interesting.
the official release to Marvel.
But it's not really. It's very difficult to say now. Like Iron Man, the first Iron Man was an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 was essentially all Iron Man, and I think 3 there was a little tomfoolery where they started
Tomfoolery.
adding some other stuff.
I think they
there,
just did that to do it.
But like Thor has been relatively Thor. They had a little help on the second one, I think. But the Avengers, yeah, it's kind of you need something big enough to include the Hulk and Thor
Yeah.
So kind of the way I see it is when they don't have a big enough villain to fight that requires the Beast and a god, they roll with another person's storyline besides the Avengers.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate too that those characters are getting a little diluted to fit into the ensemble and not really develop on their own path.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can have a standalone Hulk movie with Ruffalo. I think the possibility would have still been open had you retained Ed Norton.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have planned for that. So and this year you have Civil War coming out this weekend. You have X-Men later this month. Apparently they're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a third one.
Yeah, they're doing another
That's
one of those.
retarded. Then you have Suicide Squad in August.
Suicide Squad.
And Doctor Strange in November. There's an untitled Wolverine sequel March 3rd of next year. Then Ghost in the Shell, Guardians of the Galaxy in May, Wonder Woman in June.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is exactly 1 year from today.
Yeah.
So,
Then you have Wonder Woman in June, Spider-Man Homecoming in July, an untitled Fox Mystery Marvel film in October.
We'll see. I mean, I think Marvel can sustain some.
But then they're doing Thor again.
Thor.
They're doing the Ragnarok.
Let's just stop doing the Thor standalones because they're not
I like them.
good.
I like them.
I think if we're going to do a Thor standalone, Earth does not need to be involved at all.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's what
would have
they're
been
doing in
fantastic
Ragnarok.
had they stuck to the mythology instead of parking him on Earth and like throwing in Natalie Portman.
Now, if for some reason he needs some help, like I have no problem with him traveling to Earth and recruiting one of the Avengers or a couple of them to come help him do whatever he does.
Yeah.
But I think people, like, when you have a character from a complete other world that's very aware of all the other worlds that have aliens, I suppose, on them.
Yeah.
Life.
Do that out there. Like, you have an opportunity here to show.
Yeah. And I think that's what they're doing with Ragnarok.
I hope that's what they're doing with Ragnarok. And, that's one of the reasons I've liked Guardians of the Galaxy so much is, okay, this human dude from Earth has a cassette deck. That's his tie to Earth. Everything else is in space on other planets, and it's cooler.
Yeah.
And I don't even like that music. Like, I would much prefer
There's
it
a
had come
few
out
good
10
songs.
years earlier and it was like 70s, like Led Zeppelin. That would be the greatest comic book movie of all time. Hands down. If
For
you had,
the
like,
tone of the
classic
movie,
rock.
though, I can't imagine.
No,
I can't imagine that
tone
character
wouldn't
having
work.
the same sort of attitude and listening to like Kashmir.
Exactly.
It
wouldn't
just
work.
doesn't have.
Yeah.
It's a little too weighty for the content of the movie. But I think the soundtrack has really made that movie. I'm good on them for pitching in the money to get it.
I do not like the music, but I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't mind those songs in that context.
In the context of the movie,
because
I thought it was
fits
great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So fast forwarding a few of them, they still have it marked as officially released Avengers Infinity War Part 1 for May 4th of 18.
Yeah.
And then Part 2 May 3rd of 19.
But like I was saying, I think Marvel can stay this course and be sustainable. I don't think DC can.
No.
I think you're going to see DC drop a lot of these properties.
Well, they're not doing Justice League until November of next year. And the one after that's going to be for Justice League is June 14th of 19.
Civil
So
War's
they're
already
going
made
a
over
lot slower.
$250 million.
What's that?
wow.
$261.6 million in the foreign box office already.
They
For Civil War.
and that's just the foreign, or
Yeah, that's
So-
international. That's not
But
even
that's
counting-
that's
so that's not counting what like the U.S.
that's nothing
sells
domestic
yesterday.
at all.
yeah. But the thing is that I'm certain that hasn't even recouped their money for promotion.
Oh
yet.
no, not at all.
But I think I would probably, if I had to guess off the top of my head, I would guess somewhere between 400 and 500 million for promotion of this movie alone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but do you think they're going to get up there on the top of the list for highest grossing movie? Would that start like that?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
in the
think so.
top 5.
I think it starts strong because I mean it's a comic book movie hitting close to the summer, but I think it starts strong. But I don't think you're going to have. Star Wars took the number one, didn't it?
I think so. I think it made it number one.
Are you talking about like total box office draw or just opening weekend?
Either or.
Because I think Star Wars is still at the top.
I think they got opening. They took opening.
Yeah, I think it may have been opening weekend.
Jurassic World is number two. God, people stop investing in dumb movies.
I like that movie.
Please.
Shut up.
It's a pile of shit.
I've watched it twice in the last week, or parts of it anyway.
I almost watched Mad Max again yesterday.
I will watch Jurassic World 10 times before I watch Mad Max.
But you liked Mad Max.
I like Jurassic World that much more than Mad Max.
But yeah,
And
Star
he hates
Wars.
both of them.
Yeah.
Star Wars: Force Awakens is number one, $247 million dollar opening, and Jurassic World number two, 208. and Marvel's Avengers is third place with 207. So, I mean, the third place, you've got in the top 5, you've got 3 Marvel films.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's conceivable that it could end up beating like an Iron Man 3 in 5th place.
Yeah, but
But-
better beat Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
This one's still showing that Avatar has the highest.
So,
Well, it's wrong.
I found the article I was talking
It
about
says 3
regarding
is Star Wars.
Infinity Wars Parts 1 and 2.
I'm talking about opening weekend.
Not all time.
I'm looking. Yeah, they're doing all time, even though I Googled opening.
Well, yeah, so the reason the Russo brothers have come out and said that they're re-subtitling them instead of being Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 is because he says there was a misconception because the 2 movies are entirely different entities. So it's not a Part 1 and a Part 2.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be completely... I mean, obviously they're pushing a primary storyline like all of them are.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, the continuing backstory is the Stones.
Exactly.
You
And
know.
I mean, we've already seen that in a number of them.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
kind of one
eventually
of those
going to get
things-
to that point where they're all combined, and then
Well, I think what probably happened was a lot of people were assuming that they're going to get a cliffhanger and have to wait a full year to see the second half.
yeah,
So what he's going to do is rename them to let everyone know, hey, they're independent movies of each other. You're going to get closure. There may be tie-in to that movie a year away, and if there's a big tie-in, I really wish they would take advantage of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a situation like that.
to kind of
Because-
bridge the gap.
To bridge the gap just a little bit,
Yeah.
even if it's only maybe 2 or 3 episodes that have a little bit of extra content or something that push it, or a minor storyline that pops up and down, just a reminder of how good the other one should have been.
Now,
or
who's current on Shield?
I have not watched this week's, but other than that, yeah.
Because I'm wondering if they're doing something similar to like Winter Soldier, to where they're
That's
tying it in a
supposed to
little
be
bit.
next week's episode.
Okay.
But I will say the episode I have not seen, the previews for it had the Kree touching down on Earth.
Ooh.
So I will be watching that when I get home tonight. But from what I've read on Reddit, next week, of course, I've skipped Reddit since the release on Tuesday. So, but it would have made sense for Tuesday's episode to do it. But it may be next Tuesday. So I'll let you know for sure.
Well, because that's one that I want to catch up on, because I'm hearing the season's like the best so far.
It's really good.
And then apparently I have to get caught up on Supernatural.
You
So-
very much so have to get caught up on Supernatural.
So
For all the other people that listen, that watch Supernatural, yay. We're ecstatic. We had a 11 season question answered last night.
Yeah,
And probably one of the best episodes I've seen since season 5. So
I kind of want to just skip all of them and watch that one.
if you know anything about Amara and the Darkness, you can at this point.
Okay.
There hasn't been a whole lot of stuff that's happened between, like, that's really happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much them chasing, can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, do you know anything about them recruiting Lucifer?
Yes.
Do you know?
I know that he took over.
Okay, then you're good. That's the biggest thing that's happened
Okay.
besides this episode.
Looks
So
like
if
I
you
know
want to
it.
watch it just to get
Might
some
be doing that tomorrow
happiness,
night then.
yeah, feel
'Cause,
free to.
yeah, because that's the like when I stopped when I stopped watching it was right after Castiel was
Yeah,
Lucifer.
yeah. It's actually
So
pretty
I'm-
funny.
I think
when
what,
you
a
find
month
out who it
behind?
is.
Is that a month?
About so, yeah.
So I'm only four or so.
Not
episodes.
even, because I think they took. So there's been stupid breaks going on for the last 2 months randomly.
Yeah, I think that's what messed me up because like
Yeah.
that was one that I was actually staying current with, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they must be on.
And it
break.
was weird because a lot of times when you get breaks per channel. You'll have like the CW or WB or whatever that station's called now. Will have all their shows on break, but they didn't. So like you'd get the Arrow, but you wouldn't get Supernatural, or like there's like
They should rename it to
Yeah.
CWB.
CWB.
Mhm.
Yeah,
CWB. That should be the name of that channel.
well, it is still very much tied to Warner Brothers.
yeah.
Does
But
it
it
should be
is-
CWB?
it's Warner Brothers, but it's like a joint venture now between CBS and WB.
Yeah.
Interesting note, and to talk about DC troubles, Supergirl has yet to be renewed,
Thank God.
and the talk is now that they may park it on CW with the budget significantly reduced. Because right now the budget's like $3 million an episode.
Honestly, if the budget going down produces a better product, which it can, because they have to
I think they
rein
need to,
themselves in.
They need to start it over
Yeah.
and use some of the people from Flash and Arrow.
They have to write.
Don't take anyone from Arrow right now.
No, don't actually take them. Just be like, have them like double check the work or something. You know?
Yeah.
Like, be like, watch this show 9 million times. Then you can write something, and then they're double checking your work.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about. Tuesday will be the episode of Flash that is directed by Kevin Smith. And I read an article today talking to Tom Cavanaugh, which plays Wells, and a couple of the other people, basically saying that they were extremely impressed the way he handled it. Like, he knew more about the characters, the storyline, than most of all the actors, you know, but he was also very humbled when, you know, he basically calls everyone around and he's like, hey guys, check it out. I'm standing in front of the Flash. He was like geeking out that much, but when he respects the product and loves the show so much, that he's telling you, no, dude, that happened like 13 minutes in on episode 5, not in episode 6. They're like, oh wait, you're right. So it's like it was really really cool to see it because, you know, he gets a lot of critics, Mr. Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
and he's had run-ins with the Arrow people. I don't know if everyone's aware of all that fun stuff.
No. What's going on there?
Needless to say, Preacher. You know, Kevin Smith did the first episode of Preacher.
Yeah.
And the wife of the showrunner for Arrow is the one that was running Preacher. She did not like the changes he made to the script on the pilot, essentially.
If you're going to have anyone doctor a script, especially dialogue, you kind of let Kevin Smith run with it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. That's kind of what happened. He did it, and they wanted to come in and like redo some stuff, and you know, because they changed an actor after they had essentially told him, we don't want you for anything else. Like the pilot, that's it. Like they didn't want him to continue. And he said he would be more than willing to run the first season as the showrunner, do, you know, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the show got picked up because of the pilot, and then got dropped after the other team took over and got killed after season 1. So it's like he could have, you know, his pilot got on there, and he said, you know, he felt like it was high school drama around all of it. You know, he gladly came back and reshot what he needed to reshoot. You know, and it was all smiles between them and stuff. But since then, it's been pretty down. And you know, he actually wrote.
Did they release it? The pilot?
Yeah, the pilot that you see was actually the one done by Kevin Smith
For Preacher.
Yes.
I think I've seen that. They didn't do any more after that?
No, that was his only involvement. But because of that, and then also, I believe, and I may be wrong on the comic book, but Kevin Smith wrote for either Arrow or Flash, or one of them two characters.
He's written quite a bit, and most of his comic book work is pretty critically acclaimed. Like his run on Daredevil is actually really good.
It was actually Arrow, now that I remember it, because a lot of people say the character that he created was like one of the first
villains, one
of the first superheroes that had like HIV or AIDS. So like he drug problem, all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people say that Speedy is
modeled after that
a little bit because of, you know, some of the stuff she went through. But, you know, so Arrow was one of the things he wrote, and he's got the husband of that girl is the showrunner of Arrow, and that probably also caused a little.
So I'm wondering, like, after they see The Flash, if it's as good as it's supposed to be, if they're like, yeah, let's have him come and do an episode of Arrow.
I don't want to ruin Flash for you.
I'm current.
You know that what just happened when they tried to create the second particle accelerator explosion?
Oh, no, that was the last thing I watched. Was that yesterday that came out, the new one?
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, so I watched, I think they were doing that. No. I know, because it exploded, and then, like, the kids just got out of the room, and they got knocked to the side.
So he's doing the episode after that.
Okay.
Did you watch the previews for that episode?
No.
It's very widely known where Barry Allen is. And one thing I do want to comment on that, since you're up to date. Mm-hmm. You remember a couple of episodes ago where they had to get some alloy from Arrow? Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of interesting that the only remaining piece of the suit that was left there was the part they had added that alloy to.
Yeah.
Which means that alloy has some sort of interesting reaction to dark matter.
Yeah.
So that could play something later.
Now, I noticed that part. So you immediately knew where he was?
Yes. Yeah. Well, if you know anything about the comic book of the Flash, he stops being the Flash because he gets stuck in the Speed Force for 40 years and has to find out how to get out. So, from the way that episode went, it seems like the same wave that hit him that gave him his ability may have just hit Jessie Quick and given her ability, and I forget his name.
Yeah.
But the brother Wally West, which Wally West is the Flash in a very long run. And then the other Easter egg in that episode that I thought was interesting is, did you hear what his dad said his mom's maiden name was?
Mm-mm.
When they were discussing Jay Garrick, the dad was like, Garrick, that's my mom's maiden name. So Barry Allen
could be related
to Jay Garrick, which would open up who could be in the mask on Earth 2 right now.
See, I think it's actually a future him.
It could be.
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Because, I mean, we've already encountered one future him.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So I'm thinking, because the body build and everything,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the Flash. It's
So,
just... Like,
well, that's the funny part is the dad was the Flash on the other TV show. Barry's dad was the original Flash.
Oh, yeah?
From the 1970s TV show.
Oh, nice. So they did that. They did that with Smallville because Martha Kent was Lois Lane.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, a little interesting note about the first HIV.
Did you go find it? Was it him? Was that right?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Because I thought, I was like, I swear I've heard this before, but it was Image Comics, Shadowhawk, created by Jim Valentino, 1992.
Okay, but Kevin Smith does have one, like his character.
Yeah, he's got one, but he ain't the first.
Okay, wasn't the first.
No.
Maybe it was the first for Marvel.
Could
maybe
be.
the first one was a false positive.
Right.
The other one, I don't know. The other one eventually contracted an Extrano, DC character.
That doesn't sound like the name of the one.
When he get the his, I guess when he was in the New Guardians. I don't know. It doesn't give me a date on that. But the first, but I remember I think I remember Shadowhawk being the first.
Yeah. Well,
because that's like the origin of his powers.
Oh, okay.
So he got the hivs, didn't die, became a superhero.
Kids don't try this at home.
Did.
Yeah, man, that dude is like, man, freaking Charlie Sheen's like gonna drop off any second here. Magic Johnson's like, gotcha, bitch. They're talking New Mutants. The director Josh Boone is teasing the lineup that you may see in the movie, so that could be cool. I'm hoping that it's more New Mutants you can play around with. It's a Rob Liefeld. It's tied to the X-Men universe, but it has room to be playful.
Yeah.
Just because of like Warlock and some other characters, like it's really it can really get interesting.
Did you see my post in one of our hangouts regarding Joseph Malozzi?
No, been busy.
You need to go to Reddit. Mm-hmm. Joseph Malozzi is one of the EP's creators of Stargate SG-1. Mm-hmm. He has been putting in what he calls Stargate memories, and he's giving you like background information on 3 episodes a day. He's on season 4 right now. So, like, it was kind of interesting. I don't know if you remember the episode Upgrades, where they get those arm things they can run really fast.
Yep.
I was homesick last week watching it. And every time they run into that force field and their face all sticks to it, like, I keep wondering, I'm like, most of the time they have force fields and all that kind of stuff. It's all CGI or light effects. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, to get that face that way, they had to have done something. And
Saran wrap.
Yeah, as he was doing it, they had lighting with Saran wrap around it. So it was kind of cool watching that episode 2 days before he gets on and talks about those episodes. And he's up to I think 9 right now.
So I should probably not go see that now. And then when I start watching them again, just go read his posts.
Oh, the cool thing is he's replying to people. Like, he's posting that and there's 20 or 30 replies and half of the replies are him. So, like, I mentioned, I told him that story. I replied with that and told him, P.S. Dark Matters have been a blast. And, like, he replies back and he's like, oh, dude, that's great. Like, hope you enjoy. Season 2 is going to be even better. So, like, he's replying to pretty much anyone. So, if you go through it and you find something you want to say about it, he's been pretty good about being on there daily now, replying. And Dark Matter Season 2
I haven't watched that one yet.
On his blog, he let fans name every single episode. So once he'd put up a poll every week for 3 or 4 different options for each of the episodes, and I voted last week for the finale name. So yeah,
did it win?
I don't remember what I voted for.
Oh,
I think it did because I wasn't a part of them, and you really don't know what they're all about.
Yeah.
But the one that was selected fit the names of the rest of the episodes, and that I remember making that association when I voted for it. But he's been pretty active. He's still got like a WordPress like blog he writes, but a lot of background information on Dark Matter, and he's been going through a lot of the Stargate episodes. So he's very active. If you want to start following him, to
yeah, I might do that because I'm trying to get back into the gear of where I sit in front of my computer and actually read some of the stuff that I have on my giant list of favorites that I haven't had time. Hopefully, I have some free weekends coming soon, but I want to do that. And I still want to follow because Teal'c.
Christopher Judge.
Yeah, that's the one.
I have him on the Twitter.
Yeah, he was on my Twitter, but he mentioned something that he was a part of, and I can't remember what it was. So I've been trying to find out what it is because it's not on IMDb or anything yet. So I've been trying to follow them because they had a really good an interview with the one we watched 2 years ago when they were all talking about what they're doing now. It was on the recap, I think, on that Sci-Fi marathon.
Yeah,
and they all had something actually very interesting. The only thing that didn't interest me is what Christopher Judge is doing with the phone app.
yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about that.
Yeah.
So I want to get back into where I have my list of like my favorite actors from Firefly, the Stargate series, and all that, and start following their works a little bit again because I'm a couple of years behind now because I used to watch pretty much everything, and the one thing I couldn't watch of holy crap, the one that's in both Atlantis and McKay, which is his real name.
McKay.
You don't know it either?
I know. I associate myself with the characters that I love, not the people that play the characters.
Yeah.
Because they can be a dick in
what
the
about,
next thing I watch.
So what
them
about
in.
Christopher Judge? And
Well, when you get to the original 4, I've seen... and his name should pop back in my head because it's a pretty common name.
yeah, because I used to, he has a website I used to follow, but
Yeah.
there was one thing that I was missing from his collection, and we ended up running into it on vacation that one year.
Yeah.
I wake up and they were watching it on some Canadian channel or something. Because he actually, I think it was him and his sister wrote that.
Yeah.
So I caught the majority of it. I at least got the gist of it. So I was like, cool, like that's complete. So I know he was working on some private thing. He kept posting little secret things about it. So that's supposed to come out in the next couple of years. So I like to follow their stuff. It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I follow Amanda Tapping, but I mean, she pops up on a lot of things.
Yeah, she's busy.
She's doing a lot of behind the camera directing type stuff, and most of the shows that I watch, the things that she directs, that you can tell she's more passionate about. A lot of the sci-fi and stuff like that. It comes out like one of the best 2 episodes of a season for me. So I really enjoy and pay attention to when she's putting stuff out. Plus, her last name's Tapping. So.
Cool comic book news. I'm looking forward to this one. Jeff Smith has created or put together, I think it was like 32 pages, but a sort of new adventure to tag on to the Bone series.
Okay.
That he completed a while back. Because I got the Mammoth hardcover signed by him last year at Comicpalooza.
I got the paperback.
Yeah, but I had to. I have like I think 3/4 of the paperbacks. But I was like, if I'm gonna get him to sign something, dude, it's gonna be the freaking hardcover collected, full blown edition. The real deal.
I was new to me. You introduced me to it, and I thought it was all right. So
it's
like,
a fun story. It's a fun story. But like, I'm a fan of like old school, like Friz Freleng, Mel Blanc, Chuck Jones style, like Looney Tunes. The runs on like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, stuff like that. I love the art style, and so Jeff Smith being heavily influenced by those and creating the story and him being self-published when independent comics were taken off, like I latched onto that hardcore. Like it was a great story. But he's done a 32-page add-on to it called Coda to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the book. So that ships in July.
Okay.
Along with, I think they're supposed to like package like a retrospective, like an interview and stuff like that with it and everything else. Like, dude, last year Comic Blues, I went all in, man. I bought the documentary, I bought the hardcover, sat down and chatted with the guy for like 15 minutes. Like, Jeff Smith's cool as hell. Just all sorts of stuff, man. Like, he's interesting. Like, his panel was really interesting.
His panel was good.
Did I get the same thing? Did I order the same thing you did?
It's a hardcover with a slipcase.
Yes.
You got that one too?
I think so. I have a few of those.
Because it wasn't available. Well, no, I think I did buy it on Amazon.
I don't know. You sent me a list, and I bought the majority of it.
I think it was on Amazon, but I think it was available on Jeff Smith's website for like $50 cheaper or something like that.
I'm trying to think what else I would have gotten signed by him then.
I sent you an article.
I saw.
Maybe you bought the DVD then. Did you also buy the DVD?
No.
Okay.
I got something signed. It's over there.
Okay, well,
I have to look for it. I don't know. You're the one that told me to get that, so I was like,
you ain't
cool.
you ain't read the story. I would recommend that you get like the e-copy of the book and read that, so you don't because I can't like the hardcover side. I can't bend that cover. I can't bend the spine of that thing now. It's in the slipcase and it's there. Like it's solid. It's there.
I have a lot of things that are like that that have been signed that are in boxes or tubes or
yeah.
Like
if he comes if he comes back to Houston or whatever like that, I may get him to like sketch out something on paper, and then like over the years as he comes back, I'll just fill the pages with sketches.
I think you should take a big piece of paper and have him like let him know, hey, I'm going to be here every year you're here. So in 10 years, I want to see what you do right here.
Yeah.
Same piece of paper every time, and have him just draw you something over like time.
That's when he's just going to troll him, and he'll come for 3 years, and he'll look awesome, be like, oh, I can't wait till next year, and then he never comes back just to fuck with him. He's like, he's sitting there like, 30 years later, he's like, yeah, this one guy still waiting for me to show back up in Houston so I can finish his sketch.
Yeah. It would be the worst thing ever, like to have him somehow arrange like a will or something like that, and then like my only mentioning in the will is to ship me to like mail me an Alanis Morissette CD. Like, you planned for this, but sorry.
Yep, that would be bad.
But I'm hoping for more comic book artists, man, because we don't get. We had like the same guys that make their money doing the rounds of conventions. They'll always be here.
Yeah.
But to get like the real rock solid, I'm hoping Liefeld comes back, because this bastard over here got an awesome Bad Rock sketch in his Youngblood hardcover, and he doesn't even fucking know what that is.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Like, while I appreciate the fact that you felt guilty enough to buy me the print of Boba Fett and Deadpool and he signed that, like you felt guilty enough to buy that for me. I appreciate that, but still, you're an asshole.
Actually, no, I just felt that I needed to give him more money because he did a full sketch. So,
like, honestly, like Bad Rock's not the most complicated of his characters to draw. Like, it's pretty easy to run up, but yeah, hopefully, I would love if we got more of the Image guys here.
My thing is that experience, like, it was really cool that he was doing that. My favorite part of that experience is you standing behind me with the face you had.
I'm like,
because you were just so angry, and then like, and then immediately, so you had like this anger, but like possible hope, excitement that it was going to happen to you too, and then the complete and utter disappointment as we were leaving.
No, I was the first one in line. Like I got my book signed first.
Oh well, that's still how your face went. Like maybe like you had. I don't know what your hope was about then, but
because I had the actual copy, the real copy of Youngblood #1 that I've had since the book came out. Like I've had that. So I was like, I've got like a good majority of the run from Youngblood, but I'm not gonna stack up all the books and have him sign out all of them. I'll take the first one, and then he brings the hardcover, which I thought about buying, but I was like, I got the most of the run anyway.
Yeah.
But he lays the hardcover down, opens up the first page, red page, and starts sketching. I'm like, mother. But still, I have Batcan.
You do have Batcan.
Jim Lee did no other sketches. I got him to draw Batcan.
Yep.
Just
have
because.
you framed Batcan yet?
It's in my box. It's in my box of collectible stuff. So it's along with the lanyard and everything else that it was on.
In like a year when we were talking about it, and we were like, "Remember Batcan?" He'll be like, "I lost it."
Oh no, it's in the box of all my stuff. So all the collectibles go into this one thing. So in the event of a fire, I can just huck that out the window.
Yeah, my shit's everywhere. I got collectibles in every drawer in my room.
I'm gonna save the house because otherwise, screwed.
I got stuff everywhere. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like half and half because like guitars are gonna get saved. They have to get saved.
That's why I don't have guitars.
Well, the thing is that I can sell them for pretty much what I paid him, if not more. So that's like I don't know. I have like this weird, not really so much weird, but it's like survival kind of thing. Like if worse comes to worse, I can sell that shit. You know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have a Magic collection like that. You just need to sell it before it's not worth anything.
Yeah,
I think it's probably already not worth anything.
No, I took a handful of them and looked them up, and it'd be a substantial amount after putting all of them in, I think.
Yeah, but that's that's the value on a computer screen. What the value is on a computer screen and what you actually get someone to pay you for them are two different things.
True.
Because
and the amount of work you had to put into it to sell it individual. I think I'm going to do lots with like actual lists of cards.
Yeah.
And that way it's like, this lot significantly more than that one. However, you're getting all of these cards and more.
Yeah.
See if that works.
Yeah. The old school grab bag.
Essentially, yeah.
I was putting together that list, trying to put together a cube of like the old school Magic. From, I think I said it was like from 4th edition to 6th edition. And just a few of the early expansions. Like what happened before like 1998. And I started to go in to look at some of the commons and uncommons. And I was really, really shocked to see some of those commons and uncommons are like $60 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder if we have any of those in our 50,000 cards.
Probably.
Ooh. Doubtful.
Yeah, but like old school things like the icy manipulators, stuff like that. That
I don't think we have a whole lot of that early stuff in ours.
Yeah, I did.
Jack O'Neill commented. Some screen name on the Stargate thing is Jack O'Neill.
He's so distracting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how'd you fare in the draft?
I placed 3rd. Got to throw my homie Charlie a pack for sponsoring me.
Nice.
Well, it was a toss up because, Cam.
She pulled second.
Yeah, she pulled second. Like
second draft ever.
Yeah, I would love to know what Christmas music thinks of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the last match I had with me and Peter was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Peter's our games were tight. Our games were really tight.
I didn't get to play him again. I swear the little random generator just won't pair me with him.
Well, you have to win.
Normally I do. Normally
if you don't play him in the first round, like you have to win.
Yeah, but normally me and Chad are playing for second and third. So, like I've gotten in top 3 the last like 3 drafts, except this one. I think I was at I was above Charlie and Jasmine. I know that much.
Yeah, I mean our first game, I accepted my hand with 3 land removals.
Yeah,
all 3 of my land removals.
You don't turn that down.
No,
you just don't.
I didn't have a whole lot else going on, but on turn 3 when I could cast the spell, he had, and it was kind of funny. He had, I think he had 2 whites and a black land out.
Yeah,
and I killed the black. No, it was the other way around. It was 2 blacks and a white. So I took out the white.
Sounds so racist. I took out the white.
For those tuning in right now, we're talking about a game.
So I took out the white and left him with 2 swamps. And then the next turn, I played something, and I could tell he got frustrated that he didn't have that plains to be able to play. So then the next turn, I took one of his swamps away. So on turn 5 or 6, he has 1 swamp out.
Yeah.
But I didn't have enough board presence to do anything. I'm just like pinging away. And then he gets another plane, so the next turn I take that plane away.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw his hand shaking. He was not happy. And then he went 6 turns without drawing a land. Oh, so like we were on turn like 11 or 12 when he got his second and like third lands.
And you hadn't drawn in any threats yet?
At that point I had him down to like 4, but he had control and he had those enchantments that you can move.
Yeah.
So every time a big guy would come out, he would move the enchantment over to it and had 2 or 3 of my guys locked up.
Yeah.
But I beat him on that one. I think like 23-0. The next one, I got 2 land kills in my starting hand. And I didn't even realize he was running a 3rd color until game 2. Like not a single blue card was played. So he's got a dual land out there that's blue black, and he's got through all 3 colors. So I kill the dual land, and then I kill one of his planes, and was able to get a pretty good board presence. And I got him down to 2, and then he took some chunks out of me, and then he healed up to like 8, and I got him back down to 2, and then he got me. So that was a lot of fun. And then the 3rd game, we actually went to turns, and on turn 3, he beat me. But I also had 2 land kills on that one. So, I mean, I drew 66% of my land kill, and just I've never seen him that like shake in that first
Yeah.
game, and like he came back. I mean, there's when you have 2 lands killed in the first 5 turns, like that sets you back, especially when it's a tricolor deck.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that you hope to kind of attain is that Peter, he's a very skillful limited player, very skillful deck builder in the confines of that, but he always builds and maintains a rhythm.
Yeah.
And that's probably your only chance of beating him is to disrupt that rhythm.
And that's what I went for. When those cards came my way, I'm like, I passed up 2 rares, I think, for them, but I ended up with like 7 rares. Like people just kept giving me rares that fit me. Like Charlie tried to hate draft me, and took a white card and handed me a combo black-red card, and I was playing a black-red deck. And then that devil,
however, the one he hate drafted you
was awesome.
Yeah,
it's like a $40 card.
We don't want you to have that.
I wouldn't play white.
He got the angel, didn't he?
The Avison.
You would have changed.
Oh no, I would have just hate drafted it.
Yeah, if someone passes that to you, you
have to.
take it out of the pool.
I would.
But the other one I got was that
because you don't want to sit across the table from it ever.
Yeah, I had the one where every time you play a creature, you can sacrifice a card and add a 1/1 counter to any creature.
Yeah.
Or to that creature. And it was a 3/3 flyer, so it was kind of nice.
This was a very solid set.
I liked it.
Especially for limited, if we could get into some block play, it'd be really, really good. But I think more and more, the more that we talk about Magic and the idea of doing a cube, and especially me wanting to build an old school cube, you go back and look at a lot of those commons and uncommons, and cheap answers for things aren't in the game anymore. They're just not. I mean, you used to have stuff like Wrath of God, Nevin Ural's Disc, things that were like 4 or 5 mana board clears.
Yeah. Well, even as close back to the Avison block, we had some. I mean, they cost 8.
Yeah.
Or that other thing where you can just.
But
it
was mainly like it was a core set idea that you had things like Disenchant, Swords to Plowshares, Counterspell.
Well, that was the thing. The colors I was playing, there was 0 enchantment. Oh well, no, I had an artifact kill, and that's honestly, it was kind of funny. When the first time I read the card, I know we're back to Innistrad, which had a little bit of artifacts because that was right after the Scars of Mirrodin block. Mm-hmm. So there were still some artifacts playing around. And I didn't look at any cards at all before the draft. Like they were all brand new to me.
Yeah.
So when I opened a pack, I looked at the rare on the very first pack. I liked the colors. I opted to go those colors.
I went black and white. I mean, my first pack had a black and white rare.
Yeah.
That it was just a straight up removal spell, but it looked like it would be very effective because it removed any non-land permanent from the game, and it was 3 mana, cost you 3 life to do that. And I'm like, in a format like this, where someone can luck into a Planeswalker or that Angel or something like that, I'm like, I kind of want that on my side. And, other, yeah.
I don't think I'm on cards with.
I got sponsored, so I gave up my cards. But the answers, that just like Peter's concept of his decks is that almost every turn it's land drop, creature comes out, or, there's always an impactful attack. Another creature hits the board, and some spell that makes an impact on the game overall and his opponent's pace. That almost gets played almost every turn.
Yeah,
it's just beat, but it's the same rhythm. But you have to disrupt something. So having access, I'm really sad that like land kill's no longer a thing. It's no longer like a big
is
thing.
Now.
Well, that spell, yes, but I mean, you used to be able to build like black-red land kill decks where literally your opponent couldn't get a land on the board.
Yeah.
Or like Armageddon, destroy all lands.
Yeah.
That card.
Ridiculous. Well, see, this one's the exile target artifact or land, and then this card deals 2 damage to that land's controller.
That's a great card.
And it's a common.
It's 4 mana though, isn't it?
3 in a red.
Yeah.
And
which isn't horrible.
Well, you start doing that on turn 4 on a tricolor deck.
Yeah.
And everyone's splashing 3 colors now. So
I mean, if you had green and mana ramp,
it wouldn't hurt too much, but
not at all. I mean,
there wasn't a whole lot of good green, it seemed, in this one.
I drafted some green with the idea of using that just for mana help and some big creatures, because I wasn't seeing like really big creatures in the black and white mix that I was pulling. Because I mean, 2 of the packs that we passed, like 2 of the 3 rounds, passed to the left, and Peter's to my right.
And he was black, white, blue.
Yeah. So
you weren't getting anything there.
And pretty much everything to the right of me was eating up the black and white. Some green came my way, a lot of blue came my way, but I'm like, I'm already locked into this. I can't go blue now. And then the second pack's coming to me from my left. I was getting all the black and white, but no one was taking red to my left. And so Kenneth, 4 seats down from me, was just eating up all the red.
He beat me.
Yeah, he really went into it with a monocolor red deck, and we came upstairs, we were playtesting for a little while, and something didn't really seem to click in it, so I splashed green in it to add more creatures, because he had, aside from lands, he was running 16 lands, but the rest of the construction was 50-50 creatures and pump spells.
Yeah, see, the first game we played, I hurt him with my mana kill. I killed 2 of his lands on turns 4 and 5. And he wasn't able to get anything big enough to stop me. But then the second game, I killed 2 of his lands, but he came back because of those little pumps.
Yeah.
And my favorite card I got to play against all of them was Devil's Playground. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, let me see.
Put 4 1/1 red devil creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player.
Yeah, I saw that in the mock drafts. The funny thing is, I didn't do the normal number of mock drafts that I usually do before we do one of these events, because I just didn't have time, but typically I have enough time. There's enough downtime at work where I can sit there and mock draft, at least 20 or 30 rounds a day, and get a good idea for how the set feels. I didn't do that going into this one. So, and I especially didn't mock draft black.
I didn't look at a single card.
Yeah.
That's
the funny thing, though, we all have our various strategies. Peter obviously plays. Peter obviously stays up to date.
This is the first time he played in this one. He didn't go to any of the pre-drafts anywhere. But yeah, he knows that.
But
as soon as the cards are available on a spoiler site, he lets me know.
Yeah.
But it's Corey starts looking up now, and Corey explained what the abilities were on the cards this round for me. It worked the other day before we played, and I didn't even read that sheet that tells you the differences between the new stuff and how it works. So. Every time I opened a pack, I would look at the red and the black because those are the ones I was running. And then I like green, so I'd look at green. And once green got where it didn't really matter to me, I could tell that it was just a splash, if anything.
Yeah.
I started looking at white to see what kind of removal Peter was going to be playing against me. But I didn't see those enchantments he had, and those things were a beast.
Well, the funny thing is, if you take a look at MTG Salvation and their Talks of Limited right now, this is one of the best constructed, best mixed blocks for limited play, and red is sort of the default splash color for everything. Yeah, because it mixes so well with the other 4.
Yeah,
and green's there, but I think everyone's kind of sleeping on green. There's a lot of good stuff there. That spider with reach that can block up to 7 creatures.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's a big
that on me. Bastard. I wanted to play Bill, actually.
Yeah, it was good seeing him, man.
I had a full board, and he had that out, and I was like, and he's like, block. I was like, which one? He's like, all of them. It's like,
yeah.
Should have read that card.
Yep. It's fun. It's fun having him in our Magic Hangout now, being able to chat with him over the past week. Just over our history of the game and what we did, because some of the places I was bringing up, what was that freaking attic that we played in for one of the pre-releases, and he's the first one that I knew was there back when we were all rolling out to those big tournaments and stuff. He was the first one that remembered what that place was, and he's like, "Oh, that was the 5th Dawn pre-release." I'm like, "Shit, yeah, it was." That's the one where I got the guy to drop and leave the tournament because I told him I would tap his cards for him just to keep him from lifting his arms. Because he smelled so that whole place up there was just a den. It was the middle of summer, no AC, cinder block room, no windows. They had 2 doors open at the front and back to try to get a breeze going through there. And I swear to you, there was 80 people there.
No,
and it was all bad. It was all bad. We left early because it was this smell ought to be damned. We got to go.
I actually was looking around on a few sites. Asgard Games in Houston.
Yeah.
They actually have a bar in their store now.
Oh, yeah?
So it doesn't do liquor, but it does mead, wine, beer, that kind of stuff. So I would imagine it's all bottled.
Yeah.
But
if you can somehow work a deal out with a shop owner, I swear to you, you're better at making these deals than I am, because otherwise I'm not going to pursue it, because what am I going to do? But if you go out and play drafts or something like that, let me know if you can make a deal where I'll just tell the guy I'll give you the cards, I'll give anybody the cards, I'll just show up and play, because I have no interest in keeping any of this stuff, but I like to play the game.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't be hard to find a sponsor for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when a release first comes out and getting those like packs.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Like I don't even care. Like if I pop a $60 rare, I'll pull it just because like again you don't want anyone else to show up with it again in the game. But it's like I have no interest in keeping that, dude. Like
I didn't know the value of any of the cards. I usually go home and look a few of them up.
I don't care.
I have a couple that I think may be worth a little bit, but I just add them to a trade binder because I think we should try to do EDH. I think that's something that wouldn't take a massive investment.
Yeah, if I'm going to invest in cards to keep, though, I'm going to build a block.
Yeah,
Well,
we have,
but
it's
it's going to be
put together a block.
Yeah, and I'm sure with all the stuff that's here, the commons and uncommons, from all the core sets, because things had a tendency to get reprinted a lot.
Yeah,
you've got many
I
sets.
don't expect that to happen as much anymore without core sets.
Yeah, I think the heart of the game is gone.
Yeah, it's like all the old reliables.
Yeah,
my 3/2 deer in green that I attack with.
I wouldn't want to see like new sets come out, but if they were able to put together a really solid, it didn't even have to be like a full set. It could be like a half of an old like core set.
Yeah,
where it was things like none of the goofy abilities, none of the
basic
big
mana
mechanics.
ramps, your basic counter spells, your basic
mana elves, like
that kind of stuff. The staples. That way you don't have to spend
but they
release
don't want,
cards on it.
It's like, but they don't want those elements to creep into standard because if they're in core, they're going to be legal in standard. But they don't want the game to have like cheap removal. They just seem to not want red to have any direct damage anymore.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Black centers around life gain now.
I know. I had that do 3 damage, gain 3 life. I had 4 of those in my deck.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. Is I was playing a white black. And I gained all life from my black cards.
Yeah.
Like I was at 26 at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second, why is this angel not giving me anything?
Exactly.
Like, I had lifelink.
I liked it,
I had sorceries that were give me +3 plus do some other shit to give me a zombie, I think. So I had all that. So I was like, I could build up like 6 to 10 health, I think, with my deck.
Yeah, but that just doesn't feel right to me because black was traditionally you had strong creatures that had some kind of drawback against
touch,
you,
or they would
impact like your opponent's hand.
Yeah,
like if they got through with damage, your opponent had to discard a card or something.
Well, this
like
really
that.
seemed to have a lot of things that would force you to discard, but I didn't see enough ways to manipulate your graveyard. That being able to pull from it. I saw some things where you could take from the graveyard and put to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah,
and that'll stop you from milling yourself. But there wasn't a ton
the
of
whole
graveyard grab.
The whole graveyard mechanic centers around that
ability where you can recast.
No, that status where you have 4 different card types in your graveyard. And it gives you a perk of some kind.
Yeah, well, see, they also had for I think one of my black cards that I had 2 or 3 of, and then one of the white cards. They both had I could pay this much and do something with like I
bring them out of the graveyard back.
I could bring out the graveyard back to my hand.
Bring a knight out. Yeah, I had that.
Or so I mean they're using the graveyard. It's just not the same. And then one of my sorcery spells that gave me a zombie, it expelled something from a graveyard. So if they're if they had exactly 4 different things,
you could pick one. And
I could expel
it,
and then they lose that benefit. So
and that actually hurt me a little bit because Peter hit that delusion or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
On the 4th type being a land card that I had.
Yeah.
But now that I think about that, that was misplayed because that card should have been exiled. So he wouldn't have had that ability.
Who?
And that was the final game, too. I'm going to have to mention that to him.
Who's this? Peter?
Yeah, because he put the land that I killed into his graveyard, not exile. Because that was one of the 4 things he needed to activate that. And he's like, haha, land. But that would have been exiled, so he wouldn't have been able to use that ability on me. That last game may have been different with those final 2 turns because that's what.
Hope he's listening to this.
No, actually, I'll ask him because he'll remember better than I will. But I don't know if he had 4 other types.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could get another event going to draft this set again.
I'd be down.
It was a good time.
I'll be down to redraft this.
I have 2 weekends in the next month that I don't have anything planned for, and I'm not planning anything for them. So it'd have to be a little bit.
And the next...
You don't have to play.
If I'm working on the house, you can't do it here either.
Chad's going to have to play soon.
Yeah? Blotter room? A lot of room for activities. When's the next block is we're on what? We're on Shadows of Innistrad. Next block or next set is July. So not that far away.
Wow, that's quick. I guess they have to kick off the standard, like.
Yeah.
The only thing valid in standard is what we played, right?
Yeah. And I guess we did draft it a couple weeks late, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, no. What's current in standard is, I think cons may still be legal. It's 3 blocks. Well, it may have reset because cons was the last one that had 3 sets.
Yeah, I thought it reset. They would do 3 and then it reset, so it gradually built up again. I thought that's how
But it's going to be 3.
It.
It's 3 block. Well, I'm just going to go figure out what's legal and standard. But you got for Shadows over Innistrad, April. You just had Shadows over Innistrad release at the beginning of April, and then July 16th is Eldritch Moon, the second and final for this block, and then the new block is September.
That's really quick.
Yeah. So you've got a new block hitting every April and every September.
So it looks like right now, until Q4 2016, Dragons and Magic Origins is in. Until Q2 2017, Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch. And up until 18, Shadows and this Eldritch Moon. So our last 4 drafts, all that's still legal and standard.
Yeah. But God, I can't get interested in standard anymore.
Yeah, because it goes back to dragons. That's weird. I don't understand the way they're doing it now. Then, because
I'm not sure.
That's
Cons
more
and Fate
than
are both gone.
That's more than what it was before.
It was 6 before.
Was it?
Yeah.
It
was 2 sets of 3 with 2 cores. So it was 8. But yeah, I don't know.
It's too much to chase.
Yeah. I still want to find an easy way to try to sell or trade off my Magic the Gathering online cards and just rotate through new, fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I only play it for a little bit, and then I could sell it all off mid-season and then wait for the next one and buy them back up, play online, and then sell them off mid-season because I'm not going to play competitively.
Convince Jasmine to play online.
Huh?
No, I think she's actually possibly looking to sell her stuff too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was talking about it. She said like this may be the last of the cards that she ever buys. So,
wonder how long that's gonna last.
But I think
no one plays with her.
Think about it this way though: if all of us that are in this circle that regularly do these drafts, if all of us build our own block, and we all just have like a game day draft, like a block day or a not a block
cube.
but a cube. If we all just have a cube day and either draw
Peter's
at random.
Got a cube he plays out of. He built one. So.
But Peter's got trickery.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be some some Tom Dickery in that one. But if you make the cube where it's only common uncommons.
Yeah, I don't want any rares because rares are too powerful. But I would want things that are like core to the central elements of the game that I started with a few splashes. Like I really think that a lot of the stuff that you had in Mirrodin Block with the spell bombs, the mirror little mana critters.
I like the Mirrodin Block a lot.
Yeah, Mirrodin Block was
if
great.
I actually went back and did make a cube, I would start with Mirrodin Block, include the next Mirrodin Block to add more artifacts to it.
Yeah.
And then probably pick like 2 or 3 more. I'd probably go Avacyn Block, Mirrodin Block, and then the second Mirrodin Block.
But then if you take like all the rares out of that, it's a pretty solid. It's a pretty solid. Gameplay wise, it feels pretty good.
So that and this one, this Innistrad one, I like it. So
yeah,
I like the werewolves coming back and the vampires, the flip cards.
Yeah,
I think I was running 5 or 6 of those. So that was really great because with Peter having 1 land for like 5 turns, anything I played that was activated by him not playing a spell.
Yeah.
Everything was just flipping. He did not like that at all.
But yeah, now that I have a better idea of what could go into it, I would definitely like to do this set again.
Yeah.
But, I got to get another sponsor because I don't want to buy cards. So, yeah, I don't know. I may just make a Facebook event and see what happens.
I wish there was a better way to do it online, like a real draft.
Yeah.
That way. Well, I mean, besides, I guess we could run our own draft on Magic the Gathering online, but you'd have to have the packs. So,
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, if there was a way you could rig game table to where you didn't have to.
Well,
but
you don't have to rig game table. You have to rig an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. But managing that with X number of people adding and removing cards, I would need Robert to build it for me.
Yeah.
unless someone else.
Because if you have that and it has an image of all the cards, then you can run it that way. And
yeah. Or if you do like an application.
If the guy that runs all the reports and stuff, it works, he does all of that. If he plays, because he might.
The biggest problem, though, is the randomizing of the packs.
cards. Yeah.
You know, that's the difficulty.
He does our metrics. They're pretty random. I think we got it.
Well, considering that there's multiple sites that do draft simulation, but no one knows the formula that Wizards distributes the cards with.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, because all the mock drafts I do, I'll kind of have like trends in mind that I never actually see once the cards hit the table. So there's commons that I mock drafted that I have yet to see in an actual draft that we've done here. And it kind of it gives you a false positive where like, oh, I can kind of count on seeing this.
But regardless of the randomizer, if everyone's on the same boat, playing with the same random cards,
Yeah, that's true.
You just may not have the same symmetry that is based off of Magic's formula.
Could be better.
Yeah, they have a formula. It's a magical formula.
Yeah. Well, their distribution of rares and ultra rares, whatever that is, like, I hate that there's like 2 grades of
multiple levels of rare.
It's just, I don't like that at all.
Legendary.
Mythic, legendary, and rare.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
Oh, I want a mythic legendary.
I have one in my little box right there.
Is that mythic legendary? Mm-hmm. Is it a different color than legendary?
Well, legendary just means it can only be played once. Only one on the board at a time. So that classification can be on both rare or mythic.
They should be a different color just to mess with us.
I think they are. I think the symbol's like a more golder gold.
Yeah, there's only 2 different. There's gold and then there's like a red gold.
Yeah.
So the red gold is mythic, but legendary can be on either. So it's not a third type.
Legendary should be like a special type of foil card.
Actually, that reminded me that legendary, the deck building game, is coming out with a new one soon.
Yeah, we bought. We're going to play some games this weekend.
Oh yeah.
We're going to play the Marvel Munchkin.
I haven't got that yet.
I saw it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah,
so
it just came out last month, I think. So it's new.
I snapped the picture, sent it to Nydia. She bought it immediately.
Nice.
So yeah, we're gonna play that this weekend.
Yeah, I plan on playing 45 holes of disc golf on Saturday. That's my
45?
My current plan. I've got one friend from work who has afternoon plans, so we're gonna go at like 8:00 in the morning Saturday. We're gonna play 18 holes, and then everyone else, when they're available in the afternoon, I'm gonna go play another 18 holes with them, and then between those 2 games, I'm probably gonna go to the 9-hole by my house. I just bought 10 new discs.
So you got to get them in the rotation.
Well, I bought like 4 of the 10 discs. 2 of them are putters that I already have.
He's gonna be noodle arms next week.
But now I'll have 5 putters, so when I practice putting, there's less of me having to go to the basket and get them out. So I'll be able more repetition. And then 4 of them were the same exact disc in just different plastics. One that I lost, one that I lost of Kristen's, and then 2 different plastics.
You still doing the where that has a blemish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I paid $64.20 for 10 discs. And
that's the price of one of those discs. No, without a blemish, I bet.
No, most of the discs average between like $16 and $30 each.
Because when I was looking online, when I was playing, like some of them were up there, like you can pay $120.
Oh yeah, but those are usually like pro discs that have people's names on them and they're made for a certain person. But like I got a KC Pro Leopard that I don't know what all that stuff means, but there were more letters in front of it than anything else. So I got one because I figured it was named after someone after a certain time, had certain flight characteristics, and I just wanted to I looked it up and it's a flatter disc, so it goes faster. So. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of trying the mid-range stuff out, playing with different ones. And then we've lost a disc in the water, so I bought a water disc that floats, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that way, if you're throwing over a hole like that, you're just like, water disc.
Well, I did that last time. I have a dragon, and I landed in the water. But so did a friend from work. And I knew this was deep because I had lost a disc there before. And a buddy of mine went chasing for his disc, and he disappeared for a minute when he was running down. So I know it drops off past like 6'5" at some point. So I was just letting mine kind of float over and just chilling because the ripples were pushing it my direction a little bit. But he ran it and got it because he was already soaking wet from getting his.
Yeah.
But I mean, they make a few different styles or ones that'll float.
I think we talked about this before, but there was a picture on Reddit of a guy that went in after one of his discs and came back with like 30.
Oh, there's more than that.
Yeah.
Like the problem with that is the way a lot of people find discs is they go in barefooted and they drag their feet on the bottom when they find a disc and they can go grab it. That's why they can feel for it.
Yeah.
If you do it with shoes, it's not as easy to identify them. And there's not a whole lot of the places that I would want to be in there barefooted.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and being that they're finding 9-foot alligators in Humble, I wouldn't be jumping in that water.
But I mean, there was a guy pulling stuff out of probably the dirtiest water in any of the places I play. And he was in there for like an hour and a half and had 20, 25 discs. So you can do it, but I haven't yet. I want to build a submarine with a claw.
No, get the underwater drone, the one that you can fly over there, then it goes into the water.
Yeah, I want to do that. I actually watched a video on the Facebooks, like drone fishing. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
didn't see
basically,
that.
they have their fishing rod, but instead of casting it, they attach it.
They fly it out to wherever.
They fly it out and have a camera on it. And this is like Florida, where you can see through the water.
Yeah.
And they just drop that bitch over like a school of fish. So it's like there's none of this having to like think you're doing it. No, you drive it out. Oh, there's fish right here.
Yeah.
Pink, bait in the water. Start reeling it in.
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't know what kind of cameras I could use to try to do it on a submarine, but I could just drop the submarine in with like a little claw that just grabs and puts into a bag. It just so
It's fascinating to see. Like, I mean, I follow. I haven't flown in a while, but I follow a lot of the racing tech.
Yeah.
But drone racing just got legitimized by the fact that it's going to be covered by ESPN now. So they're going to show a lot of the big pro events. But it's crazy to see just in the short amount of time that I've been doing this, which has been like maybe a year.
yeah.
Seeing the technology, how smaller, tighter, better quality, higher power, more efficient, cheaper to obtain. It's crazy to take off. It's crazy to see how it's taking off now, because just for the craft itself, controllers are always going to cost money.
Yeah.
Because that's like your link. None of that ever changes. But for like a good frame, motors, and everything else, you're looking at like sub $400 for something that's like pro level and fast as hell.
Yeah. But
And
you
it's
have to have
crazy.
like a license or a piece of paper for it now.
No, you just go onto the FAA website and say like, "Here's my name,"
That's
and then
it?
you're supposed to put it on the craft somewhere.
Your
But-
name?
Yeah, you give them your name, your address,
You get a tail number?
all that information. Yeah, you do.
Nice.
You get a legit tel number. Yeah,
Oh, you got a card? What? Did you laminate your card?
no,
It's not official yet.
it's not official unless it's laminated.
Unless it's laminated.
But yeah, we'll see how a lot of these laws turn out, because they were trying to pass some sneaky stuff earlier that would make it essentially illegal for you to build your own.
Looky there. Not even cardstock?
No.
You didn't take this very seriously, did you? When it expires, you have to re-register like every so many years.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, in 2019, dog.
Okay.
So Legendary, that's the upper deck building game.
Yeah.
They're releasing 2 new ones.
You've played that, have you?
I have it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Marvel one, actually. So if that's something you would want to try to take and play, it's not
Yeah,
all
I'd be
that
interested.
difficult. I might be doing a game night this weekend.
Yeah.
Not sure. Maybe Saturday night.
Well, Saturday's when we're doing our game night. So
Well, I don't know who all is going to be able to play out of my normal group. I know a couple people may not be able to, so
Yeah.
I haven't really made a lot of plans yet. But they're doing Legendary Big Trouble in Little China and Legendary The Crow Fire It Up. So they already have the Alien, like Predator stuff, those. So I'm kind of interested to see the way these are popping out. That Marvel one must have been really popular
yeah.
for them to be able to just start throwing out more and more of these just random deck building games. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I went to Barnes and Noble last night. Nitty and I were out, and first of all, like the whole "May the 4th be with you" thing.
Yeah.
We walk like we're sitting out in the parking lot. And we see Darth Vader walk in. Nitty is a gigantic Star
Oh,
Wars,
yeah.
like huge into it. So we had to go in immediately. But we got stopped by Obi-Wan, kind of like in the entryway, and I had to get pictures of Obi-Wan. And the dude was comical as hell, like really, really funny guy. But then we had to seek out Darth Vader because you could hear him breathing all over Barnes and Noble. This is like the big Barnes and Noble on 1960 by Champions Force. So we finally around the corner and there's Darth Vader, and this guy was like tall as shit. I mean, he had to be like 6'7", 6'8". The guy was like pretty towering, and hilarious. He's just standing there and he's looking at different books and he's like, I don't think I've read this one. And it's like, and then as he has time to sort of stand by himself, like while in character as Darth Vader, he's like, he picks up the Spark Notes for I can't remember what, I think it may have been like Romeo and Juliet, and he's thumbing through the Spark Notes for Romeo and Juliet, like the Cliff Notes. So the guy was pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I wore BB-8 socks to work though.
Yeah.
I was going to, but we had tours and stuff, and they were bright orange. So
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
like, damn it.
My boss came over and was asking me, like, so you're not celebrating May the 4th? It's like, check out my socks. And then I went to go see, I think like 5 people on our floor had the same Loot Crate socks. So.
Yeah. I wore my Harry Potter Loot Crate socks because they're close enough to black socks. So.
I added the sock package to my Loot Crate. They don't come at the same time.
No.
I don't like that. Because since I split mine now.
Oh, then you shoot something and then you don't want the socks.
Yeah. Well, like Loot Crate came in and then like 2 days later the socks came in.
So you just have to wait till the second package gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can give you like sneak peek, and then you better choose.
I get a text message immediately when friends get Loot Crates. So, because we compare different models of stuff and stuff like that.
What?
So.
I don't think there's anything in this last one that was different.
I don't know.
Did you get a mold for ice?
Yeah, D20 ice.
Mm-hmm. Got the horn.
Yep.
Got the shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get the shirt. She stole it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll wear it too. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those like around the house. We're both kind of too small for it now. But and then what else was in that one? You had the pin.
Pin.
The
Oh, there's
Zelda.
always a little pin. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
More often than not.
that one. Well, because not everyone gets it. This one everyone got.
Oh, okay.
And then there was a poster.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at it yet.
Yeah.
And then there was the socks.
Yeah. So I got 3 pair of socks.
Yeah, I have 3. I have my Groot.
I think the only one that actually came out of in this one is I got the Kingdom Heart ones.
So I have the Groot socks, the BB-8 socks, and the Harry Potter socks.
Yeah.
So on socks.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we can close this one out on socks.
On socks.
Good, because I'm tired.
1, 2, 3. Socks.
It's a pretty lame ending, but
You were supposed to say socks. We said ended on socks.
oh,
Socks.
but I'm pretty sure people stopped listening a while back. But oh well. Hey, yeah, magic. But oh well. Socks.
Socks. Socks. Sock puppet.